Hi everyone, welcome to UKEuropeArtsWork.info again, the YouTube channel, or the YouTube channel, not the YouTube channel. Anyway, it must be because I'm in a dry January moment. Quite a lot's happened over the last week or so. In the UK, there's been a very big story about potentially the government refusing an EU offer. This is disputed at the moment. This was an EU offer on 90 days of permit free for the whole of Europe. We don't know what's really happened with that at the moment. There's a lot of dispute, as I said. So I'm not going to talk about that, except to say, of course, nothing has changed. What I am going to talk about today are some very simple things which most people in the industry will already be thinking anyway, about how we can legally get around some of the problems that will now be in our way. Carnets, VAT and import duty on merchandise being brought into Europe and the other way around, of course. And of course, the simple thing is all of the agents like myself and managers and business people, musicians who have got some knowledge of this, what we're going to do, of course, is ask agents to request and require that backline be supplied at every gig, and where possible, instruments. Now, obviously, that's a moot point for many musicians, as you don't want to play something that's not your instrument. We get that. But there will be ways around it, which will then mean if you're going off for one gig maybe, then instead of having to pay for a carnet, you go to the gig. You still declare, of course, that you're going to be working in that country, whether it's the UK or EU. And the same is true of merchandise, because from now on, anyone bringing merchandise into the UK or into the EU will require something called an EORI number, and you will have to pay VAT and import duty before you leave or en route. So that is obviously difficult. So what of course is going to happen is get your merch made, manufactured, and you pick it up where you're going. So lots of merch companies out for t-shirts, other bits and pieces, basically in the EU and of course in the UK. So you can have your stuff made in the country you're going to. You've already paid the VAT, there's no import duty, and it's actually probably going to be a bit cheaper. So that all being said, it's an interesting week. There will be quite a lot of updates shortly on the website, particularly on the working in the EU section, which I'm working on at the moment. And we're trying to get some clarity on what is really required for EU musicians coming into the UK in terms of whether it's just a certificate of sponsorship or whether it's a permitted paid engagement visa. There's a lot of confusion about this at the moment. It seems to be one thing, but I'm not going to talk about that now. The other thing to say, of course, is something that is really quite important. When you're coming into the EU, as everybody knows, there is a Schengen area. So obviously you're going to be stopped and checked as you come into the EU. Each of the EU 27 have their own laws and regulations as sovereign states for work permits, not visas, because the UK is a non-visa national country, which means you don't need a visa to travel to Schengen under normal circumstances. What that will mean is if you go to Germany, where you can do 90 days in any 1 year permit free, or to France, that's the same, or maybe you're going to Austria, that's 30 days, although there are conditions on that. The problem is once you're in, there are no borders anymore as such. In other words, they're not manned unless under special circumstances, which of course means that you can travel all over the place. So you think, well, okay, I can play in Germany, permit free, then I can travel to Czech Republic or travel to Poland, where it's 30 days actually free, or you can go to somewhere else like Estonia or Italy. Well, yes, you can, but you're not doing that legally if you haven't fulfilled the obligations of that state, and nobody wants to suggest anyone doing anything illegally. What we think may happen, and this is conjecture at the moment, is that in order to police the necessity of having work permits, etc., in different countries, is that the promoters may decide to withhold payment until you can prove you've got a work permit. We don't know, but that's the conjecture at the moment. We can't think of a way in which individual states can police this in the context of what's happening. That's purely from the UK into the EU. So behave yourselves, please act legally, But it's something to think about. Yeah, that's all I got to say. So take it easy, best of luck, and here's to a much, much better year once we can start touring again. Bye for now. More updates soon. Ciao, bye-bye.